Hey everybody, Professor Snark here, just checking in. Maybe one last time as we get right down to the end of our class. It's Tuesday as I'm recording this, so just looking at our due dates, we've just passed the first part of the final unit, Unit 11. And so, as I had mentioned in my earlier announcement, the first part of Unit 11 is just the opportunity for you to do a peer exchange, or I'd set up some groups so you could post your essay to the discussion board and hopefully get some feedback. Obviously, the time frame we're working in is pretty limited, and it's even faster as usual because of our 8-week format. So, as I'd suggested, you get credit if you were able to post your paper, even if not a complete paper at this point. It could still be in draft form, although you really do want to be getting towards a pretty completed essay at this point. If you posted to the peer editing board by the due date, which was yesterday, Monday, then you got credit for doing it. But I do know that sometimes people post fairly late, and so it's hard to get or give feedback before the due date. So you still have the opportunity to, within your group, if possible, check to see if anyone else has posted their paper, and be sure you provide some feedback using the checklist and some of the other resources that are part of the first part of Unit 11. Okay, so we go on to really the end of the class, which is nothing more than reviewing all of the various sorts of editing or revising resources that we have, sort of common mistakes to look for we have up here. Obviously, you can double check all of the MLA stuff as far as in-text citation, integrating quotations effectively. Maybe return to Unit 9 one last time just to reread the requirements for the essay, particularly as far as the secondary sources go. The works cited formatting, obviously you want to review and make sure you have correct. And then when you're ready, submit the final essay just through the link as we've done in previous units, now here at the end of Unit 11. So the final due date we have for the class is Thursday, and I'll just get into it here to give you the exact date as opposed to just the day. Let's see here, Thursday, March 10th it is. I should have memorized that. But and like I said before, that's like the absolute last end of the class day. So any work that comes in after that, I can't accept. It's like, you know, that day is the end of the class. I don't know how else to say it. So be sure you submit on time, and what I always say is make sure that you're checking sort of obsessively a little bit your email or whatever, your student email, or, well, really your student email, because that's what Blackboard defaults to. So be checking that a little bit obsessively after you submit your paper in case there was some technical glitch or something and I've been back in touch with you asking you to resubmit ASAP. So you want to be aware of that sooner rather than later. That's pretty much it. So I'll reiterate one last time, and I'll tell you that, pardon me, when I go to grade essays, the first thing that I do is open that document up and I scroll right to the bottom to the works cited page to see if there's the correct number of sources, the correct type, and the basic formatting looks correct. If not, then what that tells me is that particular student just hasn't paid really any attention to what's going on, and so it's not worth my investment of a lot of time in that essay, and it's not going to get a good grade. It's probably not going to pass, and because it's weighted so heavily, you're unlikely to pass the class at this point. So there's just no other way to say. Be sure you have those sources correct, the correct kind, the correct number you've got, especially for those secondary sources. And of course, if you have questions, by all means ask. You don't need to just guess and hope that you get it right. And then again, overall formatting, just a matter of following those models through the COD library website. So it's all pretty straightforward, I hope. And of course, again, if you have any questions at all, just be in touch with me. So we're getting right down to the end of our course. Be sure you submit that essay on time, and just be in touch with any last-minute questions that you might have.